Welcome again to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So, All-Star Weekend is now well behind us. The home stretch of the NBA season is here. But hey, if we look at a couple things that happened All-Star Weekend, I would shout out to the sneaker community and Soul Savvy in particular on some of the great events that they hosted. They had a ladies lounge with Lisa Leslie. They had Colin Sexton in the building. They did a lot of different fun things. It was great to see all the celebrities and the different items that they were wearing. Jack Harlow is now knee deep now with New Balance, and although we didn't get the most spectacular dunk contest, at least one of my New York Knicks actually won in Obi Toppin. But I think the highlight of the Saturday would have been seeing Karl Anthony Towns shoot the lights out from 3-point range. So pretty exciting to see that. Obviously, an amazing performance by Steph Curry in dropping 50. I still think there's a ton of running jokes still going on with the NBA 75th anniversary players that were announced. So seeing MJ hug and make an appearance and connect with so many different players, people trying to cause the rift still between the big three in from the late 2000s between Pierce and KG and Ray Allen. Apparently they get along fine. They just didn't dap it up in a big picture, and it is what it is. But there's a great picture of them later on, and then you can even still see, like, after all these years, there's still a rift between Isaiah and Jordan, but it is what it is. Some of the launch shoes that happened that weekend, continued success with the MB1 from Puma. That's LaMelo Ball's first sneaker with them. Continued success, flies off the shelf. We had a Jordan 3 that at least was relatively close to being on time, but that was a big win over All-Star Weekend. So some amazing things. But I think one of the sneaker highlights for me that weekend was definitely seeing the shoe surgeon give Fat Joe like this custom camouflage pair of Jordan 4s. It is absolutely out of this world, and yeah, it's still blowing my mind how amazing that shoe looked. But let's look at the rest of the NBA season. I think there is a level of murkiness or uncertainty what the balance of the NBA season is going to hold. So, we know the Bucks are the champs. They are, hanging in there in the East. It's super competitive. We know that the Bulls have taken great strides, and unbelievable play from DeMar DeRozan continues to be the shining star on that team. And pretty amazing after his time here in good old Toronto, what he's been able to accomplish now, and I think like his 13th season now. So it's pretty amazing to see. My New York Knicks, total disaster. Should we play the kids? Should we continue to fight to make the playoffs? I think the playoffs are long past us. Julius Randle does not look like the player from last year. So there's a lot of challenges out there. And then I think the big elephant in the room is what happens with the Lakers. The Russell Westbrook experiment hasn't worked, and I think they're going to have to ride it out. Now I don't think there's any jeopardy of them missing the play-in and winning the play-in, but they're going to end up with either the Suns or the Warriors. And although the Suns are not in great shape, it doesn't look great. This team was put together to give LeBron another chance to try and win a title. So things are looking a little bit bleak unless the fortunes change definitely in LA. We know the Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets made a big trade, going to Brooklyn. Finally, Ben Simmons is going to play, although he's been out a little bit now with back issues. And then we know that James Harden has now ended up on the Sixers, and they look great together. They draw a ton of fouls. They have some chemistry on the pick and pop. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. Joel Embiid is the one that we keep talking about. Is he actually going to win the MVP? I know he was close in a previous year, but this looks like the year that it might be his. But there's a lot of other great performances out there in tune with, call it the rise of Ja Morant. He has been absolutely amazing. He is a walking highlight. I don't think there's been this much excitement about a player and his nightly highlights maybe since Vince Carter, because he is dunking on people or making game-winning shots. Memphis is having the best year that they've had, since probably like 10 years ago with Zebo and Gasol and many of the other. I think Conley was on the team at that time. So it's pretty amazing to see the rise of the young Grizzlies and what they'll be able to accomplish in the process of the playoffs. But we know the East is stacked with a lot of options. The Raptors should be able to slide into the play-ins at least. They've been one of the surprise teams despite not having a star and putting out, essentially a lineup that doesn't have anyone taller than 6'9". But they're finding ways to make it work and finding the ways to exploit mismatches. So should be interesting for them. And then we know we got some injuries. Chris Paul is injured with the Suns. We know Draymond Green and Iguodala is injured for the Warriors. So things are not quite the same as they were before. So it will be really interesting to see how things play out in the balance of the NBA season. So put it in the comments. Let me know who you think is going to end up as the NBA champion. Is it possible that the Bucks could pull it together and repeat? Do we see a team from the West? Is the Nets healthy enough, and does the restrictions come down to let Kyrie play full time? If Ben Simmons gets right and he plays his best basketball, and along with Durant being back and healthy, could that be finally the team that I think we thought when these two guys teamed up a couple years ago and were to be the team to beat in the NBA? That still really hasn't materialized. They even haven't made a finals. So I think there's a lot of what ifs currently with this NBA season, but hopefully you enjoyed All-Star. Hopefully you enjoy the balance of the season. There's a lot of great things to come. Again, Sneaks Rhymes Life, sneakers, hip hop, and a lot of different things all rolled into one. So appreciate your time. Catch you on the flip side.